Welcome back to My Fault, where we are so stupid. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't know, I'm going to be telling you about some people that disappeared or something. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a mic. I asked for 15 likes on the Chuck E. Cheese video, and y'all more thanks you did that. If you want me and Ty to do more stupid stuff, let us know in the comments. I'm going to be telling you about one of the greatest American mysteries, and that is about the Lost Colony of Roanoke. This mystery happened over 400 years ago, and there's still no foolproof evidence as to what happened. But before I get to what happened, let me set the scene for you. The year is 1587. A man named John White leads 3 ships carrying about 117 men, women, and children to Roanoke Island in what is now North Carolina. Their goal is to start the first permanent English settlement in the New World. And boy, they did a worse job than whenever I wipe, because that settlement did not last. Before I continued, I just have to change into something more comfortable, please. I don't even know why I put on this suit. I'm not even wearing the pants, I'm just wearing the top. Anyways, I'll be right back.
Welcome to Ty's Entertainment, where we're going to talk about some fun stuff. We're here for 30 seconds real quick, so stay with me right here. Are you lonely at night? Well, this is all you need right here. This little scarecrow, you can snuggle up with it. You can have it watch you at night in the corner over there and stare at you till your heart starts to get dull and empty inside. And you can never, ever escape it.
Alright, thank you, Ty, for that. Anyways, back to the story. John White had already tried 2 years before this to start an English settlement, and it had miserably failed already. For some reason, they decided to go back to the exact same place 2 years later. Don't ask me why. So anyways, the colonists are there in August of 1587, and they begin building a new settlement there, and that's when they realize they don't have enough food to last them through the winter. You thought they would have learned last time they tried to settle here. The original plan had been to grow crops and raise livestock while they were there, but there was just not enough time, which meant somebody had to go back to England to bring a ton of food back to them. So that's when Mr. John White volunteered to go back. Wait, I just realized I didn't give you all fit check yet. Look at this shirt. Mr. Jeff Probst. Mr. Probst, if you're watching this for some reason, let's collab, please. Anyways, sorry I'm a fangirl sometimes. So John White makes the trip back to England. Before he left, he told the colonists that he'd be back in about 6 months, with all the supplies they need for a couple years. And so he gets back to England, and what the colonists did not know was that England was in an intense war with Spain. And so when John White goes to the Queen requesting to take a ship back to Roanoke, her hands are absolutely tied. They need every last ship that they can have to hold off the Spanish Armada, which was the best navy in the world at the time. So John White can't go back to Roanoke for 3 years. I'm gonna have Ty do a quick reenactment of what John White was probably doing for those 3 years. Thank you, Ty. So 3 years after John White had left Roanoke, he finally makes his return. I'm gonna let Ty tell you what John White saw.
There was nothing.
Thank you, Ty. It's always a pleasure. Ty is right. There wasn't a single person still there. All the buildings looked like they'd been carefully removed. But the weird thing is that there was no bones, there were no weapons, there was no sign that there had been a battle or some type of massacre that had happened. There were only 2 clues as to what happened to the colonists. First clue is the word Croatoan that was scratched into a fence post, and the second was the letters CRO that were scratched into a tree. Now, there are many theories that have come up over the years trying to explain what happened to these colonists. And I'm going to tell you 3 of the more popular theories of what happened to them. The first theory is that they were all massacred. About 20 years after Roanoke's disappearance, Chief Powhatan, which was the chief of a local native tribe, told one of the future English settlers that his tribe killed all of the colonists for encroaching on his land. He had English muskets and other tools to try and prove that it was his tribe that did it. But as I said earlier, there was an attempt to establish a settlement 2 years before Roanoke. It is widely believed that it was that settlement that Powhatan massacred. The second theory is that the Roanoke settlers decided to go and merge with the local Native American population. Now, there are many theories about which population that they merged with, but the most popular one is the Croatoan people, which makes sense that somebody would carve that into the fence post. This is the most popular theory, because in the early 1700s, as the English continued to settle in the Americas, there were reports of members of a Native American tribe that had pale skin and gray eyes, and that it appeared that they had English customs and clothing. The third theory is cannibalism. There are two different parts to this theory. The first part is that they were victims of cannibalism. The Native American tribes around the Roanoke settlement were understandably hostile with the settlers. So there's the theory that they either slowly picked off the settlers one by one, or they massacred them, and that they cannibalized them, and that there were no bones found because Native Americans had a belief where they didn't want to waste any part of any animal that they killed, which would be why there were no bones just lying around anywhere. Second part to this theory is that the colonists themselves were the cannibals. There was a settlement about 20 years after the Roanoke settlement in Virginia where the colonists there had to resort to cannibalism to stay alive. And you believe that this is what the Roanoke settlers had to do. But yeah, that is the story of the Lost Colony of Roanoke. Let me know in the comments what you think happened to them. I know this is a different type of video of what we usually do. I just wanted to try it out, so if you enjoyed it, please go like the video. If not, then comment the worst insult that you could possibly think about me. Me and Ty are apart for the summer, so it's a little hard to film anything crazy right now, but yeah, I'll see you in the next one.